We have October, November 2021. Paper one. First question. Which one of the following is a reason why firms may not always maximize their profits? They may minimize total cost. If they minimize total cost, that means they will be able to they will be able to make more profits. They may be able to sell at a higher price. If they're able to sell at a higher price, they should be able to maximize profits. They may have a low fixed cost. If their fixed cost is low, that means they are able to spread their fixed cost across whatever they do. So it means they'll be able to still maximize profit. They may complete charitable work. So completing charitable work means they have changed their objective. As a result, they might not be making profit. So the objective now might be social responsibility. Clear. So the answer is D. Question 2. A product has an income elasticity of demand of 0.7. That is inelastic. And if we have an inelastic demand, it is a normal good. For luxury, it is elastic. It should be elastic for luxury. Inferior goods, negative. It should be negative for inferior goods. Are you with me, please?
Yes. What about public goods?
Our public goods are goods that we don't even talk about price because mostly they are free. So it's not about elasticity. Clear?
Yeah.
We go to question C. What is meant by the term productivity? Productivity is the amount of output in respect to inputs used. Clear? Amount of output in respect to inputs used. We go to question D. State the formula for calculating social cost. Social cost is external cost plus private cost. Clear? Question E. Divide the term producer. Producer, it is a firm that supplies goods and services. An individual that supplies goods and services. The government that supplies goods and services. They are all producers. Clear?
Clear.
Go to F. We have the total fixed cost, and we have the variable cost and the units, which is 750. So total cost is fixed cost plus variable cost. So it is 50,000 plus 250,000 multiplied by 750, which is 50,000 plus 187,500, which is 237,500. Okay. Using the diagram below, draw the equivalent price. Draw the likely effects on the market for smartphones following a rise in cost of raw materials. If the cost of raw materials increases, that means the cost of production would fall. So thinking about reduction in the quantity supplied. So that means from QE to Q1. As a result, the supply curve will shift leftward from S to S1, bringing about movement along the demand curve, increasing the price from PE to P1. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Go to H. The New Zealand government is to introduce new legislation to limit the interest rates. Interest rate firms can charge on loans made to customers. The maximum interest rate firms can charge will be 0.8 per day. Explain one reason why the New Zealand government may be introducing this legislation. We're talking about legislation, we're talking about laws. Wait, okay, so I wrote, the New Zealand government might have come up with this legislation to protect customers, as firms might exploit them by charging higher interest rates. With government legislation, it becomes illegal to charge higher interest. Is it clear? Move on. Cutting Edge is a gardening firm. The case study is there for people to read. With reference to the data about your knowledge of economics, analyze how Cutting Edge benefited from technical economies of scale. First, what is economies of scale? Because economies of scale is a reduction in the average cost of production as a result of expansion. For technical economies of scale, I wrote this, it implies to the ability larger firms have to access better machines or machinery than smaller ones. That is technical economies of scale. So according to the data, Cutting Edge was unable to accept some works due to lack of suitable equipment. As soon as it receives more work, it becomes important to use a powerful saw. It works in the garden, so it needs, because there are big trees that has to be cut. It couldn't take the job because it doesn't have that equipment. But now that the customer base is increasing, it's able to do that. So this means it can spread the cost across several gardening jobs received. So buying equipment like this will bring about a reduction in average cost. Why? Because it's going to take more jobs and it's going to be able to spread the cost across the jobs. It's not going to be buying new bigger saw every day or every now and then. So that one will be enough to be used for all the jobs. So that means it can spread its average, its cost of production. Then it becomes average. Clear? Move on. Question 2. The PPC is there, which is a graph that represents the combination of two goods, like agricultural goods and agricultural goods, that can be produced if all resources are fully employed. So point W means, for point W, it means higher production of agricultural products, less production of non-agricultural goods. That is what point W means. Point Z means more production of non-agricultural goods, no production of capital goods. Are you with me? Point X is unemployed resources, and point Y is unattainable. Impossible. Yes, so the answer is B. Clear. A trade union is an organization that aims to protect what? First, a trade union is a group that is formed by workers to protect their interests. So that means it's about the employees' rights. Clear. State one reason why firms stay small. Firms can stay small because of lack of finance, it can be personal reason, and the size of the market itself.
What about the nature of the market?
What?
Nature of the market.
Niche. That's if it's a niche market. That's size of the market. Nature of the market, yes. Yeah. It could be, yes, you're right. I thought you said niche. Go on. If I increase supply by 2.7%, following an increase in price by 4.9%. Calculate the PES. PES is percentage change in quantity supplied over percentage change in price. This is 2.7% divided by 4.9%, which is 0.55. It's inelastic. Define the term price maker. I wrote. Did you do it?
Yeah.
Okay. I wrote a firm. Okay, price maker is a firm that has some degree of market power to set its price on goods and services. You are a dominant firm. That's why we call them market leader.
They set the prices for goods and services.
So we go to question F. Describe one reason why a computer can be a factor of production. First, what are factors of production? These are resources that help in the production of goods and services. So computer can be used to produce goods, like to render service. Yes or no? So it can be used to render service. It means capital. Clear?
Mr. Arrow, computers are a part of capital asset to the business. Therefore, make it a factor of production.
Yes, fine. So move on. G, are you there?
Yes.
Explain one factor that could affect whether Abby is able to expand her business. Availability of funds.
Lack of funds.
Yes. So Abby will need more money to be able to move to a larger premises. She might not have enough money to finance the expansion. Clear. It's the same as lack of finance anyway. Go to H. The case study is there. With regards to the data above and your knowledge of economics, assess the effectiveness of government regulations when dealing with externalities such as air pollution in Jakarta. First, what is I wrote this way. Air pollution is an example of negative externality. So that's the first one I wrote there. Negative externalities are the cost to the third party as a result of production or consumption. High volume of traffic due to, according to the case study, high volume of traffic due to the number of vehicles in Jakarta, that's over 17 million, and external cost to people in Jakarta. Clear? Yeah. One method which government can use to reduce these externalities is to come up with regulations. And what are regulations? These are government laws and rules which makes negative externalities to become illegal. Clear? Yeah. As a result, pollution may reduce and externalities will reduce. However, government regulations might be too strict or too soft. Too strict to the extent that it becomes a government failure, and too soft that it doesn't solve any problem. Okay. Not okay, yeah. Also, the number of vehicles registered is increasing, which means pollution may increase. Clear? Yeah. Well, the only solution to me is thinking about going electrical. If not, There will still be carbon emission.
If not, the quality of the air will not, and it will not become any
Will not
better.
improve.
Yeah.
Okay. We go to question 3. Are you there? Which one of the following is likely to be an inefficient allocation of resources? Migration is the movement of people in and out of the country. Competition will bring about efficiency. Lack of information, which is asymmetric information, will bring about inefficient allocation of resources because you might not be able to maximize the welfare. Division of labor will bring about efficiency because it leads to specialization. So the answer is C. Clear. B. Which of the following is an example of an occupation in the tertiary sector? When we talk about the tertiary sector, we're talking about the service sector, right?
Yes.
So sheep farmer is in the primary sector, factory worker is in the secondary sector, coal miner is in the primary sector, sales assistant is in the tertiary sector. Clear? So the answer is D. Using the diagram below, it's about, we said the question.
What minimum wage?
Yeah, what will happen to minimum wage if it is being set above equilibrium wage rate? If minimum wage is set above equilibrium wage rate, it brings about increase in supply of labor. To bring about what increase in supply of labor, this is it. Yeah? The supply of labor will increase. This is increase in minimum wage rate. So the supply of labor will increase as a result of that, meaning people will be willing to work more. Do you understand? So from QE, it will be QS for the supply of labor, it will shift to the right, supply of labor will shift to the right, and the quantity demanded for labor will shift to the left because firms will find it difficult to pay more. So the demand for labor will reduce and the supply of labor will increase. Is it clear?
Will
So-
I get no more trips
Let me see, the demand for labor,
decreased?
yes,
Just I'll get 3 more trips.
no. Supply, what about supply? What happens to supply? It didn't do supply.
Yeah, but the demand for it decreased. So will I
Yeah,
get
you
at
have to do a shift to the supply.
Will I not get at least 1 mark?
No, you get.
Okay.
You get at least 2 marks.
I'll give it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll move on. Okay. So is it clear?
Clear.
Okay, so that's it. Go to D. With reference to the data above and your knowledge of economics, analyze how the demand curve for Pepsi might have been affected during the 2019 Cricket World Cup. First, what is a demand curve? A demand curve is a graph that shows the inverse relationship between quantity demanded of a product and price. That's a demand curve. Advertisement is the creation of awareness to customers about a product. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So a successful advertisement will shift the demand curve rightward. In the case of Pepsi, the demand for Pepsi might increase as a result of its advert in a world event, like the World Cricket event, right? So it can be graphically represented below. So we have the demand curve will shift rightward. The demand curve will shift. The quantity demanded, if with successful advertisement, the quantity demanded for Pepsi will increase from Q to Q1. As a result, the demand curve will shift rightward from D to D1, bringing about an increase in price from P to P1. So we're going to have a high equilibrium price, more quantity, and a shift in the demand curve. There. Have the case study there. With reference to the data above and your knowledge of economics, assess whether raising the retirement age is likely to be most effective method to increase the supply of labor. First, what is supply of labor? It's the number of workers making themselves available for job at a given wage rate. At a given wage rate. Are you with me? So, by increasing the retirement age, it means people need to work longer than they used to before receiving state pension. That's the second point there. Due to the increase in the retirement age in Singapore, the supply of labor will increase. As a result, output in Singapore will increase, the GDP will increase. Clear?
Yeah.
However, the manufacturing sector, because mostly it's about the manufacturing sector. And manufacturing sector needs physicality, it's not in the service sector that you need mental. Manufacturing needs physicality.
You need strong individuals.
Yeah. So, however, the manufacturing sector may need younger people to be more effective. That's the first thing I wrote. There are other factors that might bring about increase in the supply of labor, such as training, not only retirement age. So training can also increase the supply of labor, because it improves the skills and knowledge of employees, as a result become more employable. So you know, when you are employable, you would want to find a job. Some people do not want to find a job because they are not employable.
They don't have the capabilities to be employed.
Yes. Clear.
Yeah.
No. Question 4, right? Are you there? Calculate the percentage change in profits from 2017 to 2019. It will be 2019 value minus 2017 value divided by 2017 value multiplied by 100. So we have a 7,100 minus 80,750 divided by 80,750 multiplied by 100, which gives us 635,000 divided by 80,750, 7.86. Okay. Move on. There's a case study about trekking. So with reference to the data above and your knowledge of economics, analyze why the market for trekking in Ohara will be described as an oligopoly. For what's an oligopoly? It's a market structure where few large firms dominate the industry. So the tourism industry in Nepal, this is Nepal, right? The tourism industry in Nepal has few large firms and some smaller firms. That makes it oligopoly. So in oligopoly, there's product differentiation. And in the case study, they said the small firms differentiate their products by specializing in taking customers on less popular routes and offer guides who speak different languages. That is product differentiation there. Clear?
Yeah.
Another feature of oligopoly is barrier to entry. As the data which state that it is difficult for new competitors to set up due to expensive permits. So expensive permits may discourage new businesses set up. Okay, that is also a barrier.
Because since they're small, they don't have the financial capability to set up.
Okay. Because they are new. Okay.
We call the infant industries. Infant.
They've not started. They are just coming up. They are not in the industry. If they are in the industry and small, okay, they might cope or find a niche. But here, they are new startups. So new startups do not have the financial strength to compete
with the large firms.
Yes. So that might discourage them from going into that industry.
Yeah.
With reference to the data above and your knowledge of economics, evaluate whether Air India is likely to benefit from privatization. First, what is privatization? I wrote is the transfer of state-owned businesses to the private sector. That's privatization. Air India, which is a government-owned airline, is scheduled to be sold, as the government of India is planning to sell all its shares in the airline. That's privatization. This implies that ownership will be out of the Indian government's control. As a result, the objective might change, for example, to profit maximization. That's the benefit for Air India. With privatization, Air India is likely to be managed by businessmen, not politicians. And that might bring about efficiency.
They will not take care of the business more than the politicians.
Yes. And that will bring about efficiency. And if there's efficiency, they might start going back to the routes that they do not fly, like Africa and Asia, which has large population. So which might increase their revenue and profit margin. There. Yeah. However, Air India's struggle might be as a result of external factors, like actions of competitors, advancements in technology, consumer choices, consumer taste and preferences. So it might not be because of inefficiency in the airline. It might be as a result of external factors, which is beyond the control of Air India.
Yeah, so how does consumer taste? How is it related to this case study? Consumer taste.
Who does Air India fly? People. People might choose not to go with Air India, rather might want to go with Turkish Airlines. I want to go with Emirati.
Okay.
So that's changing taste and
They
preferences.
prefer different
Yes.
airlines and
So there's nothing Air India could do about that because it's dynamics.
the trends as well.
You get it? So it is
Yeah.
beyond the control of Air India. Maybe that's why Air India is failing or failed. Clear?
Clear.
Also, the oil companies may be reluctant to supply Air India despite having new owners due to their past encounter with the previous owners. Fair.
Yeah.
So that means if this happens, Air India owners, the new owners of Air India might try to find other objectives rather than profits. So they should start thinking about other objectives, not profit at the beginning. Because oil companies might not want to supply the
social welfare.
No, not really social welfare, maybe survival.
Staying in the market.
Yes. Or gaining the trust. So that ends it.
Yeah.
So that ends October, November 2021 economics paper 1.